Welcome to NFL News with Sylvester. Behind the desk is NFL News presenter Sylvester. And now, here's Sylvester with the NFL News. Thank you. We start our NFL News with the Monday Night Football scores. There were two games on Monday night. The first game was the Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baltimore Ravens won the match. The final score was Baltimore Ravens 41, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31. In the second game of Monday night, it was the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Arizona Cardinals. The Los Angeles Chargers lost the game to the Arizona Cardinals. The final score was the Los Angeles Chargers 15, the Arizona Cardinals 17. We start our first news item on the New York Jets. Robert Saleh, now the former head coach of the New York Jets. Since our last show was over 3 weeks ago, we didn't get the chance for this news item. But 2 weeks ago, the New York Jets organization released the head coach, Robert Saleh, of his coaching duties. Taken over as interim coach is Jeff Albright. Since the release of Robert Saleh, the New York Jets have played 2 games under the interim coach, Jeff Albright, in which they both lost. The New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills have done a very important upgrade. Both teams have done wide receiver upgrades, which, according to both teams, very importantly needed. The New York Jets acquired Davante Adams, and the Buffalo Bills acquired Amari Cooper. Both players had a chance to play for their respective teams, and just by the circumstance of the schedule, the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills played against each other on Sunday afternoon. The New York Jets wide receiver acquisition was not much of a factor in this game, but the Buffalo Bills upgrade at wide receiver, Amari Cooper, became an important part in the Buffalo Bills win over the New York Jets. It's only the first game with both teams and their newly acquired receivers, but so far, Buffalo Bills have managed to really score an upgrade to the receiving corps. The Cleveland Browns had a major setback to their season. Deshaun Watson, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, was injured and was carted off the field for a season-ending injury. It was confirmed by the Cleveland Browns organization it was a ruptured Achilles tendon. Backup quarterback Thompson Robinson replaced Deshaun Watson. Thompson Robinson completed 11 of 24 passes for 82 yards. He did have 2 interceptions before getting hurt. Thompson Robinson injured his finger on his throwing hand. Jameis Winston came in to finish off the game with the injury to Thompson Robinson. The Cleveland Browns, with that injury, uncertain when Thompson Robinson will be able to return, signed former New England Patriot backup Bailey Zappi to a contract. The next game for the Cleveland Browns, they will be at home once again, but this time it will be the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Cleveland Browns. The Baltimore Ravens are 5-2. The Cleveland Browns are 1-6. In the Monday night game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sustained 2 very crucial injuries, both at the wide receiver position. Mike Evans is out for at least a few weeks unknown when he'll be able to return. Mike Evans' departure from the game was a big setback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The offense stalled for a while without Mike Evans as receiver. Mike Evans was hurt on a play which he did drop the ball, but it may have been due to his injury. Mike Evans was questionable to be playing in this game. But the second injury was more devastating for the team. Due to it was season ending for wide receiver Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin had emergency surgery for a separated ankle. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers do not expect Chris Godwin back this season. And as far as next season, it is unclear because Chris Godwin becomes a free agent in 2025. The hip drop tackle is now back in the NFL news. The NFL is looking into the play that injured Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin and see if a hip drop tackle was applied to wide receiver Chris Godwin by Baltimore Ravens linebacker Roquan Smith. The hip drop tackle was banned in March at the annual NFL League meeting. The hip drop tackle is officially defined as when a player grabs a runner with both hands or wraps the runner with both arms around the waist and then unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower back, landing on or trapping the runner's legs at or below the knees. Sports News Review Crew, upon reviewing the video, found it was very hard to determine whether there was a hip drop tackle applied to wide receiver Chris Godwin. But the NFL has warranted a second look to the play. If it is determined that there was a hip drop tackle, the player in question, linebacker Roquan Smith, will be fined. But the amount that the players make in the NFL, the fine is pretty well not the issue. It's more of the personal feeling that in today's NFL, a player does not want to be known as a player that will purposely or unintentionally cause another player to be injured with an illegal hit or tackle. For our last news item, we go to a positive news item, and it's the New York Jets' Aaron Rodgers. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers believes that the 2-5 New York Jets can still make the postseason. With the Jets at 2-5, the chances of the postseason is a very slim prospect. The AFC East is led by the Buffalo Bills, which is 5-2. So if the New York Jets win their next 10 games, they are 12-5. But the Buffalo Bills would have to lose at least 4 of their next 10 games. That would make the Buffalo Bills 11 wins, 6 losses. Then at 12 wins, 5 losses, the New York Jets will win the AFC East. But the Jets lose a game, they have to hope that the Bills lose 5 games of the next 10. And if the Jets lose 2 games, they will have to hope that the Bills lose 6 games of the next 10 games remaining. So in a scenario like that, the Jets are most likely trying to get the best record they can to get a wild card berth if they cannot win the AFC East. But if the Buffalo Bills win the AFC East, the New York Jets will have to hope for a wild card berth if they win a significant amount of games. The Bills and the Jets play again in Week 17. So if the Jets win that game and the record is the same at the end of the season, a tiebreaker will determine the AFC East champion, leaving the other team hoping for a wild card spot to the postseason. Although the odds look very slim of the Jets going into the postseason at this stage of the season, Aaron Rodgers is quoted, "The power of belief is a snowball that can start an avalanche." They will start their snowball with a game against the 1-6 New England Patriots, hoping to turn more wins into an avalanche. This has been the NFL News with Sylvester. This is Sylvester saying, over and out.